It's Harold Buddy Olmsted.
All right. So first off, how long have you been in Maine?
My whole life. I lived in Westmanland and then moved up here.
So why do you like living in Maine?
Lower crime rate, outdoors.
Yeah.
Actually, I like northern Maine.
Yeah.
I don't like some of the rest of the state of Maine. But
So what do you think is the big difference between northern and southern Maine?
the biggest difference?
Yeah.
Well, population. I mean, to get cities down there. Personally, we don't want them up here. We don't like the influx of. I mean, other staters come up snow sledding and everything, but every time we get an influx of people from either the lower part of the state or other states, the first thing they want to do is change it.
Yeah.
Change it so it's the way it is where they are.
Like, what do you think makes northern Maine the way it is? Like, what do you think is the important parts you don't want to be changed?
I think people that are here, they're here because it's rural. They want to be where it's rural.
Yeah.
And again, it kind of rubs most people the wrong way that people think that northern Maine stops at Bangor. They make decisions for northern Maine, and everything that happens in the state that takes place from the southern part of the state, and we have to live with it.
Like, what do you think is the main issues coming from southern Maine that are affecting here?
Well, they'd like to see it more populated, more of what you have in the city. And that's just the opposite of what we want.
Yeah. So you live on a pretty, I don't know what you call it, like it's a bunch of lake houses. Do you have a lot of tourists come there, or is it mostly people that live here?
There's a lot of tourists, yes, mostly in the winter.
Yeah.
Snow sledding.
Oh.
Because there's no rentals anywhere in northern Maine in the winter. Everything is booked solid.
Oh, I didn't expect that.
Oh yeah, you couldn't buy if you don't have rooms reserved right now for this winter. You're not going to get any because everything's booked.
What do you think are the main issues that people in northern Maine have to deal with that maybe southern Mainers don't have to?
Yeah, the cold, lower income.
Yeah.
I don't mind the cold, or I'm actually happy when we get the snow, but a lot of people aren't. I mean, but most of those are from the lower part of the state.
Like, what do you think, why do you like the cold? What do you like to do there?
I like winter activity.
Yeah.
Snow sledding, ice fishing.
Ooh.
A little hard ice fishing in the old port, isn't it?
Why do you think there's such a, split between the two Maines?
I would assume it's probably the same in every state.
Yeah.
If you go to New York, everyone looks at New York, thinks of New York City. Well, it's a big state, and northern New York is a lot like right here. And I'm sure they get people from the city want that changed.
Yeah.
They go to the lakes in northern New York or in northern Maine, and they want it their way, not the way it is.
Yeah.
And it's probably not going to happen as long as the locals get 2 cents in, but we'll see. Money talks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's driven real estate actually crazy up here because people from out of the state and the lower part of the state have driven the price of real estate so high on the lakes, you just can't afford to buy.
Yeah. Like, do you remember how much this house was when you got it?
When I bought it, $62,000.
What do you think it is now?
Between $350 and
That's a big difference.
There's places. There was one just sold around the corner for $1.7 million.
Oh wow.
There's a blue one right over there that's on the market for $799,000. They're
Yeah. And you think that's because people are moving out here?
Anything what now?
You think this is because people from southern Maine are moving here?
No, they're not making any more lakefront property, number one. And I think after COVID, it really opened a lot of people's eyes that live in the cities that don't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
So they're moving out. And they're the ones that drive the price up because they come up here with a pocket full of money and they drive the market up.
So you mentioned how there's lower income here. Do you think that's ever going to change, or is that kind of...
No, I think it's that way everywhere in the country. Anywhere that's rural. If you live in Manhattan, New York, I'm sure it's $300,000 or $400,000 a year to even exist there. I can't imagine that ever happening up here.
What do you think is the most important thing about being from Maine?
Work ethic.
Yeah.
And work ethic deteriorates as you go south. People don't want to work. Up here, it's work or to survive.
Like if you could pick one word for northern Maine and one word for southern Maine, what would you describe them each as?
Southern Maine would have to be hectic or congested. Northern Maine is peaceful and quiet.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Well.